gonna be? Who you gonna be? Who you gonna be? Who you gonna be? Who you gonna be? Well, well. What's up? Yeah, I hurt you, brother. What's going down in the rear, man? I smack you. I shoot you. I do all kind of terrible things to you. I hurt my girls. I hurt my women. I hurt my babies. I slap women every day because I'm cool. I'm fly. Ha, ha, ha. Whoa, brother. Whoa, brother. No, what I do is I support my people. I do everything I can, and I will fight to the end, and I will love them to eternity. Now, that was a really cheap, lazy version of a skit. But the point there is that there are two kinds of what I call this particular first section, black versus black. Now, this particular section was actually inspired by a gentleman I heard online. This guy was smart, educated, about 30 years old. He was even what we would call bougie. And you know what he said in his video? He said, well, you know, the color black is the absence of color. And I just heard him say that, and I just thought to myself, and this was a black man. And I just thought to myself, I owe $100,000 in student loans to the government for a graphic design print media degree. And I will tell you, black man, black is not the absence of color. It is all color together. So already we have an issue. I even saw a TV show the other day where three people combined red, yellow, green, and some other color, and purple or something. It was like blue, red, and green. They combined them. And you know what the color was they put in the middle of the TV show? It was white. And I thought to myself watching the show, excuse me, overlord purveyor. That's supposed to be like purple or like dark blue or something like that. White? And then I realized, oh my God. There are grown people walking around that believe black is the absence of color, when it is the inverse. Black is all colors together, and white is actually the absence of color. Get your crayon box out, use your crayons, do some practice, and tell me what happens. So that's how that works. And that's also why the KKK exists, because apparently they think African-American men have something going on with our genetic structure. Let's not get into that. Okay, good. Another thing about black versus black. Another thought about it. In the community, I'm 47 years old, Philly dude. I've been around since the beginning of hip hop. I watched it go from early 70s. I was born in 75. I saw it get started in 79. I have lived through the entire hip hop and video game experience, right? And when I came up, there used to only be one kind of black person. We had a couple of troublemakers, but we was like, man, you know, they're crazy. You know, you heard Chris Rock, there's black people and then there's N-words. But we'll get into that. So that's all we had. We had the black people. Like, hello, sir, how you doing? And then there's N-words. Like, yo, what's going on, fool? You know, we had both versions, right? But then I started to see hip hop get really big and gangster rap, you know, NWA. At the police, coming straight from run for 100,000 miles, you know, whatever. I don't know whatever it is. I don't know. I'm old. I forget stuff, right? But everybody was like, now instead of black being an athlete, a good student, I'm from Philly. I'm used to seeing a mayor, cops, politicians, firemen. Black to me was like a normal American. There wasn't like this, black is a certain thing. And then here came hip hop and Nicki Minaj, and they were doing this right here. They were, and you like my shirt, by the way. But they was doing right? And I was like, oh. Number one, I was like, ooh, I do like that. But that wasn't the point. The point is that all of a sudden, black became anything that was gangster, sexual, dangerous, disrespectful, wrong, and basically incarceration worthy. Basically means, were you raised in a damn barn? Yeah. That's what black became. So now, people get in these arguments about who's really black, who's really down. Are you really black because you love Young Thug and all the gangsters and you defend everything a criminal does? Or are you really black because you demean that and you don't like those things and you want to keep it cool and understood and work and unify with your people and not maybe even do what people call selling out? Where instead of working with your people because it's not so great, you go to the other groups because you don't believe in your people. Both of those people consider themselves black. That's deep, right? The point of this section of black versus black is getting an understanding of who you're talking to, not just an understanding. And that's section 1 of Captain Crazy 12. Get an understanding, not just an understanding. Black versus blickety black. I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm black and black and I'm back, y'all. All right, we out.